Well, how's it going, everybody? I'm Joel at Veurink Service Center, and I have great news. I have a special guest with us here at the dealership right here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It is Adam from Winnebago. How's it going?
Doing very well, Joel. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Hey, this is a great product that we have this year. It's the Winnebago Voyage, a brand new line by Winnebago. Please tell me a little bit about it. I've heard a lot about the W Series on this, meaning the construction of it. Tell us about that series.
Absolutely, Joel. So like you said, Voyage is a brand new product line that not new to Winnebago Towables,
okay,
but we relaunched Voyage about 10 months ago. So we're here today with the triple slide rear living. But like you said, W Series Foundation, you're hearing a lot about that out there.
I am.
So we'll kind of just start from the front and work our way back.
Sounds good.
W Series Foundation, it's all about the basis and how everything's built. So you got to have a great foundation and then kind of go from there. So W Series Foundation is going to include the Roto Flex Pin Box. So for towing, think about Roto Flex Pin Box. You're going to have a rubberized core in here. So for that chucking, when you hook up to your tow vehicle, that rubberized core is going to help absorb that chucking from when you stop and start when you're in your tow vehicle. So that way you're not going to feel that force of the fifth wheel behind you pushing that vehicle. But what's also with this pivoting head, people a lot smarter than me than tell me this stuff, that when you hit your brakes in your car, you don't just go straight forward. Laws of gravity tell you go up and out a little bit, so you don't just go straight forward. So this pivoting head, along with the rubberized core, when it's chucking, this pivoting head helps with that up and out motion as well.
Gotcha. I have heard a lot about that being an issue with people pulling this fifth wheel, so that's a good thing to have.
Absolutely. So that's the first part of W Series Foundation. The next part of the W Series Foundation is going to be a true drop frame storage here. So if you come in here, you can see massive amount of storage.
Wow.
So this is a typical drop frame, is typical at a full profile fifth wheel price point, where we're in a mid-profile price point with full profile amenities of having this drop frame storage. And as you can see, above the front compartment, we actually finished that off, and you have finished off storage above there as well.
And there's a door access on the outside of it, which is not very common.
So W Series Foundation is that Roto Flex Pin Box, and it's the drop frame that we talked about here.
Right.
It's going to incorporate a space saver upper deck. We'll hit more on that when we go inside, because you and I being a little bit taller, 6'1", 6'2",
you'll see the space
you can see the space that we're going to gain there. But essentially what it does is your traditional upper deck beams of a fifth wheel are more designed like this.
Okay.
But what Space Saver does is it takes the beams and it goes more upright, vertical. So what that does is it prevents us from having to have step up around the bed. We can actually have in wardrobe slides, we can have an extra bank of drawers down there because we're not competing with the beams there. Now here's one thing to think about. Think about what happens to a diving board. When you go to the end of a diving board, what happens?
It sags.
You get like a sag or like a camber. So when you're doing that like all the way around on all three corners of your upper deck, and you get that weight on there, you can start to get that sag. Again, people a lot smarter than me tell me that you go up with it, you're gonna have more, we have 8-inch beams here.
You get more strength.
You get more strength going vertical. So we have 8-inch beams here, not 6-inch beams, and I'll tell you why. There's a reason why we have 8-inch beams, because it's tied into the GVWR of this. With our GVWR being 16,000 pounds, it requires us to use 8-inch beams versus 6-inch beams.
Makes sense.
We'll talk about that when we get back there. But again, W Series Foundation is that Roto Flex Pin Box. It's going to be the drop frame pass-through. It's going to be the Space Saver upper deck. W Series Foundation gives you standard 6-point auto leveling on this floor plan. We do have one floor plan that's shorter, that would be auto 4-point. But again, standard 6-point leveling here, and your controls are actually going to be inside the pass-through there.
Covered from the elements.
Covered from the elements, not on the up and out or the gooseneck there. Also the elements, but think about kids running around at a campground. I've got a 4- and 2-year-old, and they see a button, they just want to press it.
Yes.
So it'll be locked in there, right up there next to your enclosed UDC, where you've got everything enclosed in that nice service center there.
Nice.
So W Series Foundation will also give you the quad solid entry step, so nice solid base as you're going in and out. And it's a 30x72 entry door there.
The door
is
wide.
Wide entry door. Not only, that helps with the ease of loading and unloading. W Series Foundation, this is what we talked about here. Because we have those 8-inch beams, we have 16 GVWR. So 16,000 pound GVWR, because we have standard 7,000 pound axles.
Wow.
Standard 16-inch G-rated tires. So again, W Series Foundation is going to give you 16-inch, not E or F, G-rated tires, 7,000 pound axles, and then the wheel drums are painted red to get some of that Winnebago branding.
Now that's classy.
Yeah, and then we got the road armor in there standard, and that's painted red as well, so we can get a little bit of that Winnebago branding. Now the road armor is going to help from the chucking between the axles.
Okay.
So as you're going, we talked about the chucking that the Roto Flex Pin Box helps with. The road armor is going to help that chucking between the axles. They're especially tighter turning, or when you're backing into your campsite, and those axles are going to be working against each other.
So an overall better towing experience, would you say, on this?
Absolutely.
voyage?
So if you think about when you're in a fifth wheel hookup, and you've got your pin hooked up to the bed of the truck, on a fifth wheel, then literally all of the weight goes 100% over the axles.
Axles, yep.
Everything's going to be right there. So with that 7,000 pound axles, 16-inch G-rated tires, and that road armor, all of that weight is better supported going down the road.
Heck yeah, sign me up.
So the last thing that to hit on about the W Series Foundation is going to be the standard accessory receiver in the back. So again, a lot of bang for your buck with that W Series Foundation from tip to tail.
Sounds like a plan. I also see on the outside, we have 2 large patio awnings.
Absolutely.
Is that standard?
The secondary, your main awning up front is standard, and then you can get this secondary awning here as an option on the slide. And it's mounted on the slide, not over the slide. So this gives you tons of space. So this overall length is 34 feet, and almost 30 of it is probably covered by usable awning space on the whole thing.
Perfect. And isn't this the 3134RL model number?
It is.
Talk to me about how you came up with the model number.
So we're kind of trying to flip the switch a little bit on naming and nomenclature, because it gets really confusing out there. You know, typically an RV company will say this is a 34 fifth wheel, and it can be 40 feet, and customers get really confused.
They do.
So we've really we've changed it a little bit. So this is 3134. Essentially, it's 31 foot of living space and 34 foot overall length.
So it's super easy to know the length by just looking at the model number.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So this is a lot of great things on the outside on this voyage. People will absolutely love it. Come down and see it in person. We're again at Veurink RV Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Call, text us with any questions you might have. But from the outside, looks great. Let's go inside, check the inside, shall we?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Hey Adam, we came inside to the bedroom, so you can talk to us about that space saver foundation that you get to give you more clearance in here.
So typically in your mid-profile price points and fifth wheels, you know, you've got we talked about the deck design and the roof height angle, and you can't, when you get up into the bedrooms, you're crouching over. When you go to a key portion up here of your, you know, big closet or your washer and dryer prep, you can't do anything standing. So I'm 6'1", and I'm all the way at the tip here, and I'm basically standing up full. And so what's nice is when you get to the main area, you know, you're walking around your bed, making your bed, you're not hitting your head, you're not stepping up around any beams anywhere, and you can get to, you know, fully functional in here.
Floor space here, and again, you can typically get this kind of space in a full profile fifth wheel, which will run you another 20, 30, 40 grand.
Absolutely. So that was our whole key here, was full profile amenities at a mid-profile price point, and, you know, kind of getting that whole story of that W Series Foundation to kind of to grab onto with that.
Awesome. I know you guys will love this trailer, this fifth wheel. It's tremendously appointed with some great features, which we'll touch on at a later video. But again, any questions about the W Series, call us, text us today, 616-965-9623. I'm Joel at Veurink RV Center, and this is
Adam with Winnebago Towables.
Thanks guys, appreciate it.